Oh, this stuff is so delicious. I don't have a lot of it left. I need to make... I mean, I have some liqueurs. I'm going to drink the rest of it now. This is one of my best liqueurs that I've ever made. This, It's got this really fruity and smooth note, right? You don't really taste the alcohol through it. And the orange really brings out how... Well, mango doesn't taste fresh necessarily, but it really brings out the... what's it like? I would have to look up synonyms for fresh. The refreshing, more like, not really fresh, but refreshing aspects of the mango, and the ones that have like really strong aroma, really strong taste. That's why I like this particular concoction. That was this is, by the way, the last of this that exists in the entire world, right? There's no more of this in the entire world than this right here, because I made it. That's the medical clinic. Who this? Hey, Simmy. Simmy, warming herself in the dim light of a dying street lamp is a waif of a girl who looks far too worn for her years. The Mother Superior, she says there will be 7 for me to care for. I need to see to them. Well, you're as high as a kite, aren't you? We could fly kites. I should ask the Mother Superior. She says I am going to be governess to the children. You notice a chipjack poking out beneath the young woman's unruly hair. Now, BTLs is one thing that I don't do. The vacant look in her eyes marks her as a likely BTL junkie, lost between reality and any number of better-than-life virtual constructs. I need money to get back to them. Look, do you know Monica? Monica, is she one of the sisters at the Abbey? No, wait, Monica. A flicker of recognition fights through the haze in the young woman's eyes. Yes, Monica. She's good to me, brings me food to eat and tea to drink. Well, not anymore, sweetheart. Despite the woman's persistent delirium, she seems to glean meaning from your tone. She died? While working a job, yeah. The girl grips her head with claw-like hands, tugging at her hair as if she might pull her brain out through her skull. I don't like this, but I can't switch it off. Oh, Jesus. That almost scared me. Geister Sound is now following. Thank you very much for following Geister Sound, my dude. I will continue playing the game now. She will go to heaven, she told me. Wait, The girl's frail body shudders and her eyes grow large, but she does not sob. Instead, she smiles a sad smile, which looks to have been worn all too often. She will go to heaven, she told me. It is a place for good people, stillborn babies and childhood pets. That's a very specific selection of people who get to go to this one place. And she was a good person. Well, I thought she was a childhood pet. The girl then begins to mumble to herself while fingering the hair that covers the jack in her head. Well, I'm going to step away now. Yes, good. I need to rejoin the children. And this right here also serves for us to actually get here and look at this phone booth. As you're resetting the data tab, you notice that someone has duct taped a small homemade receiver to the system. An earplug dangles from the receiver. Put the earplug in your ear. The sound of heavy machinery makes it difficult to hear the words that are being spoken. After a moment, you find you can make out 2 distinct voices, a nasal woman who sounds like a heavy smoker, and a man who speaks in a high-pitched, breathy tone. XXX just heard XXX XXX Monica XXX XXX. Need to verify and more X's. High-pitched man. Many X's good for us, many more X's. Continue listening. Jesus Christ. A sound like a conveyor belt starting adds to the noise of machinery. And you can't make out anything else until it comes to stop a minute later. Think our next step? Question mark. Wait, isn't ready, blah blah isn't ready to make a move yet, blah 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 blah, to be patient. Blah blah blah, see who steps up, blah 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 blah, could be someone more, blah 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 blah. Continue listening. More conveyor belts start up, all you can hear is the sound of machinery, continue listening. Some sort of motorized vehicle starts up, drowning out everything else, continue listening. A bell rings loudly, again and again, it sounds like a telephone. You hear the sound of a door slamming shut, and the noise of machinery is suddenly muffled. There's a rattle of plastic, and the ringing stops. The nasal woman's voice can be heard again in a sing-song voice. Guten Tag, how may I help you? Silence. Bah. Her tone changes, becomes more businesslike. I heard. Silence. Yes, he knows. I probably should saw it on the phone. I told them it wasn't time to make a move yet. Silence. What do you think I am, an idiot? The council needs to meet again. Silence. I know, getting everyone in the same room is challenging. Getting them to agree on a course of action is going to be even more challenging. From my perspective, the Kreuz Bazaar was only stable because of her. If she really is out of the way, well, we'll see, won't we? Silence. Yeah, I know. What can I say? Things go slow in the flux sometimes. You hear the sound of a door opening again, and the cacophony of machinery fills the line. You can't make out anything more. Huh. And the phone rings. The phone's fucking ringing, mate. It's an old obsolete phone booth. That's not how they look like in Germany, though. It's ringing. Pick up the receiver. A monotone, pitch-adjusted voice begins speaking almost immediately. The Schockwellenreiter's contact for this Kiez is no more. Flaschenbeißer is listed as a follow-up contact. This is our only secured line to this Kiez. Please listen to the following instructions carefully, if you are a supporter of our cause. If it's a cause that Monica supported, probably I am too a supporter of it, because I am a neo-anarchist. We have phone booths in strategic locations throughout the city. Within each one, you may find a request posted for specific information. If you can obtain a copy of this information, return here and submit it via the port below the receiver. We will verify the authenticity of the information remotely, and post an undoctored copy of it onto the Matrix ourselves. It is our stated goal for this information to remain free to all. However, you will be compensated for sought-after information returned to this location. I like these people. The line goes silent. I'll keep an eye out. I have pay data. Hang up the receiver. I have pay data, though. Phone booth. Walk away. No, I don't. We didn't. We stole that one data from the thing. The schedule from the... Oh, wait. Statue. What? A bizarre monument towers before you. At the top of the pedestal, the form of an angel stands. Its outstretched wings looming over a small park. But the material is strange and uneven, giving the statue a cold, Frankenstein-esque appearance. It appears that the artist has welded this monument together from various metal scraps and pieces of junk. As you approach, a small grimy monitor at the base of the statue flickers dimly to life. The grainy face of a smug young orc appears on screen. Hello there, I'm Herbert Kunze, the creator of this monument. What would you like to know? Nothing. I'm just gonna go away. I don't give a shit about your shit. I care about drugs. Don't care about art. Ah. Tasty. Tasty. Altug. Let's talk to him. But, actually talk to him, though. The man behind the counter has the broad smile of an open demeanor of a classic Turkish street vendor. Well, actually, to be honest, they're not that open. They're mostly, very... assholes. Welcome, honored Efedim. If you go to... It's not a street... street vendors, right? But if you go into a shop, most of the time they're very friendly. But it depends. If they're old men, they're usually less friendly. But if they're young men, they're usually extremely friendly. Would you like a cup of coffee, perhaps? I finished with your little trifle, Herr Buragazi. Ah, very good. I assume you had no difficulties? Not at... no, not at all. It was good to take the night air. I am delighted, oh excellent one. With that out of the way, let us return to our pressing business. He barks a stream of rapid-fire Turkish, and the gum-chewing young woman comes hurrying out to the counter. The menu for Herr Amsel, uncle. Kami sticks to a folded piece of paper. Inside is a memory stick. Please extend my consolations to him. The death of Fräulein Schäfer must have hit him hard. Buragazi gives Kami a small nod, and she hurries out of the room. When she's gone, he returns his attention to you. Please express my condolences as well. I only just heard the news. Monica was an important part of this community. He frowns. Few knew how important. The memory stick Kami just handed you should contain all the information Herr Amsel needs from our chef in the field. Should you require my services in the future, you know where to find me. Until then, good day. Thing about when I was driving down to Cologne the other day, I actually went to Essen. I drove through Essen with a long range bus, and I have to say, I am no longer surprised as to why they made Essen the location of the Zederkrupp headquarters. Paul Amsel. Flaschenbeißer. Amsel peers at you apprehensively. His eyes are bloodshot, his expression grim. Did you get the information about Green Winters? I spoke to Alto, gave me this memory stick. Let us see what his agent has to say. Amsel snatches the memory stick from your hand and slots it into his computer terminal. Oof, always go for an off-site computer for this shit. A computer that is at least not connected to the network, like some basic security precautions would do you well, Paul. He navigates a series of command line menus and a wall of amber text floods the screen. Amsel scans it, mouthing the words as his eyes flit back and forth. Buragazi's agent tailed Green Winters to a hotel in a cesspool of a Keats called Drogenkippe. Sounds like a cesspool. The hotel is called Das Kesselhaus. It is a renovated factory nestled deep in the heart of Drogenkippe. It appears that Winters is holed up there. Recently there was some contention between two gangs over control of this neighborhood. Due to the gang violence, the agent refused to follow Winters inside of the hotel, but he confirms that he is still inside. Well, what are we waiting for? Iga slings her rifle over her shoulder with a single spare motion. Gear up, people, we have a hotel to raid. Glory and Dietrich pause, exchange looks with Paul. Just a moment, Iga. Amsel rises from his chair, drawing himself to full height. Even so, he has to crane his neck to look her in the eye. You are an excellent... He wasn't sitting, though. You're an excellent soldier, and nobody questions your competence in the field. Your loyalty to this team is equally commendable. That said, we believe that Flaschenbeißer is the right choice to lead the team. I disagree. There is a long pause before Iga speaks. When she does, her voice comes out dull and flat. What? That is what she says, by the way. Don't mistake this decision for a reprimand. Monica considered your contribution to the team to be invaluable. But we all know she wasn't comfortable putting a soldier in charge. Yes! Ideology, boy! Iga speaks through clenched teeth. Her words are measured, but her expression is livid. This is unbelievable. You want to put the rookie in charge. Again! She shakes her head. Don't you people learn from your mistakes? Flaschenbeißer is the reason we're still alive, Iga. He kept us together. He led us out of there in one piece. I don't think that's really what I did, but okay. Making him your golden boy. She sounds tired, resigned, but above all, disappointed. This is more of your flux state idiocy at work, isn't it? Oh, don't attack the flux state, my dude. Dietrich reaches out, puts his hand on her shoulder. It's what Monica believed in. It's what I believe in as well. Iga's voice tightens. For a moment, her control slips down and her face contorts in grief. Yeah, and look where that got her. She straightens to her full height. Let me give you a piece of advice. In the field, only two things matter. The mission and survival. Everything else is a distraction. Your ridiculous politics have no place in a Shadowrun. Dietrich manages a smile. What can I say? We're German. What even does that mean? We have a history of strong political views. It's been over a century, right? And also, like, neo-anarchy has nothing to do with National Socialism. So how about you perish? Iga sighs. The tone of resignation returns to her voice. Screw it. Let's put an end to this. I've got the skill and experience to lead this team. Flaschenbeißer, on the other hand, was appointed by Monica as a joke. Erika. If you'd rather take he take the lead, I'll abide by that. But I want to hear each of you say it. I have no quarrel with you, Iga. I'll do as the group wishes. You stay out of this, but this is about me. She stabs an armored finger into your chest, hard. The moment she raises her hand to you, Dante's ears lay back and he lets out a growl. Reflexively, she takes a half step back. Oh, Jesus. I think we've heard what Dante has to say. And of course, the dog is the most qualified to analyze this strategic situation. As for my part, Flaschenbeißer saved our lives back there. You may not believe it, but he did. The way I see it, that means I follow his lead and a while longer. Glory's voice is uncharacteristically gentle. I trust in Monica's judgment. Therefore, I trust in Flaschenbeißer's judgment. The discussion is finished, Iga. Amsel speaks softly, but his tone is firm. Flaschenbeißer will take Monica's place as the leader of this team. Let us... I'll do whatever it takes. Well, Monica's death deserves vengeance. I intend to see it done. Dietrich nods. Hey, there's a dangerous glimmer in his eye. Understatement of the year, Flaschenbeißer. Someone's gonna pay, and pay hard. Glory nods in agreement. Iga looks from Dietrich to Glory to Amsel, finally down at Dante. Then she sighs. I don't know why you're alone here, man. Alright, fine. She shakes her head in exasperation. Her voice is heavy with defeat. Looks like the rookie's in charge. Again. Okay, let's go. Let's chase down Winters. Indeed, I have transferred the information that we received from Altuk to the computer terminal in the next room. It used to be Monica's personal workstation, Flaschenbeißer. Now it is yours. Monica kept a variety of notes and dossiers on that machine. I would suggest reviewing her notes when you have the time. Amsel turns his attention away from you and back to his computer screen. Good hunting. I will eagerly await your return. Ah. That was the last bit. It is so good. The fruity taste of the mango. I did warn the lads. There were about a couple people in here earlier. They probably, I don't know, lost interest, had something to do. I don't know. I'm here to play games, not care about that shit. I wouldn't suggest driving to Drogenkippe. The roads aren't safe. Taking the U-Bahn would be safer anyway. Thanks for the tip, Iga. The U-Bahn it is. Iga nods, then turns to check her equipment. The rest of the group disperses in turn. You now command a team of Shadowrunners. When traveling to new mission locations, you will be able to choose which members of your team to bring and modify their loadout for the run. When members of your team become permanently incapacitated on a mission, they'll be automatically extracted for emergency medical care. They will be patched up and ready for action next time you return to your safe house. Avoid this loss of firepower by always carrying some Bunoma trauma kits into the field. These can be purchased at the Street Docs office in the Kreuzbazaar. One-man show for one viewer in Dead. Oh no, actually I need to go to the computer, right? I need to check the computer up.